What's up, everybody? Sorry about that delay, and welcome to Narco Cop MMA. My name is Mike, and this show today is going to be on the PFL 10 2022 championships. Really, don't mind this card at all. We don't have UFC this week, so I thought, you know what? Why not do a breakdown of this card? I have some spots that I like. I have some props that I like. Pretty interesting card. There's some we're talking about 6 championships here. They're 5-round fights. That's very, very important when we're breaking these fights down on this card. But there's also some other like interesting fights that are the non-championship ones as well. So I'm looking forward to this breakdown. Grateful Dude is in here. What's up? Just 6 of you in here right now. Maybe we can pump this up and get some more people in here. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here for giving you what I think is value, what the value side is, and why. Honestly, first fight of the night, it's an amateur fight. It's this Ali Walsh guy versus Tom Greaser. That I don't even know if that guy's a fighter, to be honest. And this other guy is somehow related, I heard, to Muhammad Ali, and I'm not sure how true it is, but either way, it's an amateur fight. I couldn't find tape. I didn't really dig too deep. It's a complete pass. I'm not touching this fight. Current odds are pretty one-sided on the Ali Walsh side. They're minus 350, plus 285 on the comeback on Bet Online. So I will be passing that fight. Fight number 2, Dakota Decheva versus Catherine Korojins. Another fight that I didn't really tape extensively. I know that Cheva looks really good. I bet on her last time out. I believe I bet her under prop against that Hasna Gabar, who's honestly not a fighter, in my opinion. And honestly, when I did tape Dakota Decheva, she looks really, really good on tape. Very, very strong. Good striker. Just a good overall game from this chick. And to be honest, I'm kind of impressed with her. This other chick, Catherine Korojins, I found a little bit of tape. Very, very low level of opposition. So couldn't really make out much out of that. The one thing that I did look at that, seems a little interesting is the under, but it's freaking juiced in women's MMA at 125 pounds. I'm not going to touch it at minus 150. Maybe some props come out later. I might play some props on the Cheva, like KO or something, if it's really enticing. But outside of that, I'm pretty much staying away on this fight. Mushroom, what's up, brother? I never bet PFL before, but I know Narco will walk me through it. Yeah, I mean, I always bet PFL. Look at who it is. It's Luke from Sparring with Reality. What's up, my brother? Nice to have you on here. Rob Lawrence, what's up? Yeah, so the first 2 fights, pretty much passing for now. I'm looking for some props, like I said, on the Cheva. But I don't really know much about this Catherine Korojins. I know she's she trains in some Muay Thai gym in Thailand. Has a little bit of a background in jiu-jitsu. I think she's a brown belt, if I'm not mistaken. But, I'm not really sure, but she's fought very low level of competition. So I'm not putting too much stock into her 2-0 record. Moving on, fight number 3 is Magomed Karamov versus Gleison Tibau. And, the first thing that I look at here is, this price, it's minus 450 right now as we sit. And the best comeback that we can get on Gleison Tibau is plus 370. The one thing that I see is Magomed Karamov usually wants to take the fight to the ground. I mean, he's very good with when he gets the fight to the ground, he has good chokes, good, decent ground and pound. Guy's a good grappler, right? Gleison Tibau is a good anti-grappler. It's hard to get the guy to the ground, man. This guy has very, very good takedown defense, even at the age of 39. He's looked really good of late, to be honest. Like, he beat Rory McDonald. I know that's a shell of him, but that Al Salawi fight, you could have gave it to him. I mean, it was a close split decision. The guy is still, pretty good, man. He's very strong. Like I said, very hard to take down. Training with very good guys still. Guy has cardio is fine on recent fights. And, Magomed Karamov in the striking is probably going to do well here because he's the much, much longer guy. But I think the more dangerous guy in the striking is honestly Gleison Tibau. I think he hits harder, probably more scary on the feet here. And like, if this fight doesn't get to the ground the way Magomed Karamov wants it to, how does he cover, minus 460 here? I don't know. I don't know how he covers 460 here. I'm honestly kind of leaning the Gleison Tibau side here at plus 370. I think the line is a little off here. Like I mentioned, man, it's hard to finish this guy. It's hard to take down this guy. And if it's standing, like, he's gonna pressure. He's, and honestly, Magomed Karamov kind of slows down a lot in his fights from what I've seen. So I kind of lean Gleison Tibau plus 370. I haven't played it yet. I'm just sitting on the sidelines. Maybe this price keeps going up somehow on people parlaying maybe Magomed Karamov. I don't recommend parlaying him here in this spot. I think it's a lot closer than what this line indicates. So I'm probably going to take a shot at some point with Gleison Tibau, but I haven't yet. George, what's up, brother? Rob Lawrence is in here. What's up? Iso, would love your take on Julia Budd versus Aspen Ladd. I'm confident that I lay 500 on Julia Budd. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, because I'm going to go through every fight. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. Brent says plus 370. It's probably going to decision. And Mushroom already did. Yeah, I mean, think about it, man. Is Magomed Karamov going to finish Tibau? I don't know. I don't think so. It's probably going to go to decision. Minus 400. Gleison Tibau, we know, fights pretty close. It's not easy to control. Even if he gets him down, it's not going to be very easy to control him. Plus 370, like, it's tempting to me. It's really tempting. Moving on. Fight number 4, it's Natan Schultz versus Jeremy Stephens. Very good fight again. Current line sits Natan Schultz minus 460 is the biggest line on FanDuel. You can get him at minus 400. And the best comeback you can get is on Jeremy Stephens on DraftKings at plus 330. I went through this tape a lot on this. I mean, I went far back on Natan Schultz, watched a lot of his fights. What I don't like about him is this guy's, the pressure's really good. I like the pressure because he's breaking a lot of people, and that's very good. But he's coming forward, eating a bunch of shots in these fights, taking a ton of calf kicks in some of these fights where he got depleted, in one of these fights where he couldn't even walk. But what I'll give this guy is he's very tough. He's very, very damn durable. He's 28 fights in his career. Think never been knocked out. Super, super tough dude. Very good cardio. Will keep coming forward no matter what you hit him with. Will land occasional takedowns with mostly, judo background, like trips, stuff like that. But the guy, once he gets you down, is very, very, very good down there. Like, very good jiu-jitsu. I believe he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So the guy's credentialed. He's very good down there. On the feet, he throws a ton of kicks, ton of punches. Not a ton of power on him, but he's touching you. I mean, he's definitely touching you. He's definitely throwing a lot of volume. His loss against Olivier Aubin-Mercier, close fight, split decision loss. He also lost to Marcin Held. But when you look at a lot of these fighters that he's fought of late, these guys are good grapplers themselves. Alex Martinez, good scrambler, good grappling. Loke, same thing. Aliyev, same thing. So he's fought guys that have good I don't want to say good anti-grapplers, they're just good grapplers themselves. And they can match Natan Schultz when he's trying to take him down. Jeremy Stephens, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't think his grappling is all that good. It's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's not great either. It's not like these other guys that he's faced that have very, very good scrambling, good wrestling. But the one thing that Stevens does have, even at age 36, is he has a ton of power still. He's throwing a lot of power in his hands. Against Clay Collard, it was an absolute war back and forth. Big bombs landed by both guys. Guy still has a pretty good chin, if you ask me. Eating some bombs from Clay Collard in that fight. Took him, never really was in danger. It's hard to get this guy out of there. Let me tell you, like Calvin Kattar got him out of there. Gamrot subbed this guy. Aldo got him out of there, but very few people managed to get him out of there, man. He's tough. He's very tough. Even now, watching that Clay Collard fight, it's hard to get this guy out of there. I highly doubt Natan Schultz is going to be able to get him out of there. So what I'm trying to say is I do think this fight goes to decision. I do think this line is wide, if you ask me. You got two very durable guys. The line is minus 165 to go to decision. I think this fight probably goes to decision. But I also think it might be a little bit close here because of the way Schultz fights, right? He might land the volume, but the bigger punches are probably going to come from Stevens. And Schultz, he gets hit. He's there to be hit. And Stevens probably will oblige and hit him a good amount of times. I don't think he's going to finish him because I think, like I said, I think Schultz is made out of like granite. Guy just hard to even hurt the guy, So with that being said, one thing I'll say is I think the fight goes to decision. I think it's going to be a close fight. Values obviously at this point on Jeremy Stevens at plus 330. I can't tell you to play in the Natan Schultz at minus 400. The guy just fights too close. You don't want to bet on this guy as a huge favorite like this. You just can't do it. Split decision in two out of his last 4 fights have been splits, right? The one thing I did bet so far, and honestly, I think it's good to go bet this. It's Stevens by split or majority decision on DraftKings is plus 2,200. I think that's a stupid, crazy line. This is going to be a matter of volume over power, and I think Stevens lands the significant strikes, the damaging blows, but Schultz will land more volume. I could tell you that. So when you look at it as a whole, I think this fight is close. I think this fight's going to decision. You're getting plus 2,200 on Jeremy Stevens by split. I think that's a good prop to bet. I have a small bet on it already. Fight goes to decision, minus 165 is not a bad, even though it's going to be a high-paced fight. It's just every one of Schultz's fights is high-paced, but Stevens, very durable, did not look very good against Miles Price last fight. It's crazy. Someone mentioned that they thought Jeremy Stevens easily won that fight, but I don't know, man. It was a very close fight. When you look at it, Miles Price, when round 3 was ending, was minus 500 or minus 600 when the fight was closing. So I think it was a very close fight. He got awarded the split. I think the split could have went either way, to be honest. So now we're here. Natan Schultz, I think just play Stevens split decision plus 2,200. If you want to put in there a Stevens money line, I don't mind it. Plus 330, I think is a good price to get on him because I do think this fight is going to play close. Moving on, fight number 5. It is Shaman Moraes versus Marlon Moraes, and this is at 145 pounds. Do not look at Tapology and think this is at 35. This fight is actually at featherweight. I don't know, man. Shaman Moraes, he's looked decent of late, against Lance Palmer, and he had a 3-fight winning streak, albeit not very good opposition. Then he lost to Lance Palmer because of the grappling. I don't think Marlon Moraes is going to grapple much here, to be honest. I I guess it's going to be a stand and bang type of thing here. These guys have fought before, by the way, for anybody that wants to know. They fought in 2015, and Marlon Moraes beat him via rear naked choke in the third round. But this is a different Marlon Moraes, man. This guy's been knocked out. Let me see here. 5 out of the last 6 fights. It's pretty brutal, man. At 34 years old, you're getting knocked out 5 out of like 6 fights. I have to think that your chin is compromised. Devashishvili is hurting this guy. The guy can't even bust a grape. Not really known to finish anybody. And here we are. He's finishing Marlon Moraes after Marlon Moraes really hurt him in the first round. The one thing I'll say is Marlon Moraes super, super dangerous early in the fight. So we can't count him out. First round, he's very, very dangerous. What I probably look at here is let me check, since it's not on best fight odds. I want to check what the under 2.5 here is, because I think that's a little safer than the 1.5. Even though 1.5 is minus 115, I don't know. Shaman Moraes hits pretty hard, so so they don't have anything. They don't have any fight lines outside of 1.5, and it's minus 110 on DraftKings. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what they set the 2.5 line at. That's where I'm looking on this fight. Maybe look at some props, but outside of that, I'm not touching this fight. I think Marlon's very live early to knock out Shaman Moraes. This guy's been knocked out 2 times, I believe. Yeah, he's been knocked out twice. Feely and Loughnane. He's been hurt many times. I think Marlon Moraes can definitely hurt him and knock him out in the first round, but it's a pass for me right now. I'm not going on either side. Yeah, Mushroom is talking about his cheesesteak, his pizza, the guy can eat. Mushroom can eat. Moving on. Fight 6, it is Omari Akhmedov versus Rob Wilkinson. And this is 6th round. I mean, I'm sorry, 6th round. Not 6th round. It's a 5-round fight. It's for the light heavyweight championship. It's $1 million. There's a lot at stake here, right? You got Akhmedov, former UFC veteran, 35 years old, coming in against a guy that was in the UFC himself, and Rob Wilkinson early on. And guy's still young, to be honest. He's 30 years old, 18 fights into his career. He's on a hell of a winning streak right now. I think he's won 5 in a row prior to getting knocked out by Adesanya and Sayar Badurzada. But yeah, I mean, this guy, what can I say, man? This guy has a lot of power in his hands. I love his boxing looks really good. This guy was known as a guy that grapples a lot, right? And this guy's really worked on his boxing. I think he has had some boxing fights. He had some kickboxing fights. This guy stayed, semi-active prior to, coming back into MMA. I mean, he had 2 kickboxing fights, then he came back to MMA. Then he had a boxing fight in between. The guy stayed busy, and you could see, man, his hands look really good. He's got a lot of power. His knees are very, very nasty in the clinch. He's throwing a lot of knees in the clinch. I think those will come very handy in this fight against Akhmedov, because when Akhmedov wants to close the distance, trying to go for takedowns, I think the knees are good. I think they're going to zap Omari's energy. I just see a lot of upside in Wilkinson in this fight, man. He's the much bigger guy. He's the younger guy, 5 years younger. He's got I don't want to say he's got the better gas tank, but his gas tank is still a question. But Akhmedov gas tank is not a question. He's been gassing a lot. He basically lost that 3rd round to Silveria in his last fight, in my opinion. He got knocked out, by, God bless his soul, Jordan Young. Knocked him out in the 3rd round. He's just shown that his cardio is not very good lately, man. And he's been gassing a lot. This is a 5-round fight. I really believe this is a good spot for Wilkinson here. Even if Akhmedov is to land a takedown here, I don't think he's going to be able to control Wilkinson. Wilkinson looks very, very strong. I think he's going to pop right back up if he does get taken down. And if he doesn't get taken down and Akhmedov is doing cage pushing, I think he's going to eat a bunch of knees to the gut. He's not going to like it. I think those body shots are going to slow down Akhmedov. What I'm basically trying to say is Rob Wilkinson, I think, wins this fight. I played Rob Wilkinson at minus 195. The current price we're sitting at is minus 205 is the best price on Bet Online. Honestly, I'd still play that. The ITD on him here is, that's not appealing. It's minus 150. I mean, I rather play the under here, under 2.5 at minus 150 than, it moves. It's minus 160 now. But yeah, I'd rather play the under 2.5. I don't think this fight is going to last that long. Just the way Wilkinson fights. I think he's going to get Akhmedov out of there. If this fight does get to, round 3, round 4, round 5, those all favor Wilkinson, in my opinion. I think just a younger guy, the guy that hasn't been through a lot of shit lately, those late round props, honestly, I'm going to hit them on Wilkinson. They're 1,000 third round, 1,600 fourth round, and 2,500 for fifth round. I think if he doesn't get the stoppage early, he's going to get it late. I favor him in a pretty big way here. I really like him in this spot. I know Akhmedov has has faced the better opposition, all this other good stuff. But, man, Wilkinson looks really good lately. His hands look good. He looks super, super strong. He's in great physical condition. I don't know, man. This is a tough ask for Akhmedov. This is not Josh Silveria. This is not, Astalulius. Look at the wins, though, The 3 wins that he's had are not really good wins, to be honest. So give me Rob Wilkinson here. I think he rolls. I think he is going to eventually stop Akhmedov in this spot. Let's see here. What do we have? Brent, has Wilkinson been past the second round? I think he has. I think he's been, I want to say he's had a third round. Yeah, he's got a third round KO early in his career, 2016. He's got a third round KO. He had a boxing fight that went 5 rounds. He knocked the guy out in the 5th round. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you to ask that, because I did say his cardio is a question mark. But we know for sure Akhmedov's cardio is not good at this point. He gasses bad, man. He gasses bad. So now he's facing a really big guy, much bigger guy, better striker, better technical striker, very good knees, all this other stuff. I really favor. I think this is a good spot for Rob Wilkinson. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. Rob is bigger, no? Yeah. I mean, Rob is bigger. Rob is 6'3", 80-inch reach. Man, that's a huge reach. 6'3", 80-inch reach. Do you want to know what Akhmedov is? 6 foot with a 71-inch reach. You're talking about 9 inches in his reach advantage and 3 inches in height advantage. I mean, younger guy by 5 years. Just a better overall fighter right now. Akhmedov is past his prime, guys. This is not Akhmedov of 2019 and stuff. This is a different Akhmedov. So give me Wilkinson. I think he's really improved as well. You got to look at the fact that this guy has looked really, really improved, especially in the striking. So, yeah, I'm going with Wilkinson. The under is a good play. Late round props are really good, just to sprinkle something. Because if it gets late, I think he's going to stop Akhmedov late. Moving on. Fight number 7, it's Delano Taylor versus Sarabu C. And this is the fight that I broke down and looked at tape the most, to be honest. Delano Taylor, 10-2, wasn't supposed to be here, but last-minute replacement, came in, knocked out Rory McDonald, the ghost of Rory McDonald, and made to the championships, right? This guy in the first fight, in the regular season, he beat Joe Zaffarino. But then second fight got knocked out, dominated by Magomed Karamov. And to me, that's a bad look. Magomed Karamov knocking him out on the feet, hurting him really bad multiple times. Kind of got outstruck by Magomed Karamov, and it's not a very good look. Then you look back in his career, and 3 years ago, Roman Feraldo, another very good striker, knocked him out in the second round. Then you look back in his amateur career, 2018, Thad John, another guy that's long and a good striker. Again, same scenario, gets knocked out in the third round. That's starting to show me that this guy, he's got good wins, but when he's facing like long guys that are good strikers, he seems to be getting dominated and getting knocked out. And guess what he's facing? He's facing a long guy that's a good striker. Sadabusi, a guy that's 35 years old, but man, when you look at this guy, fight over fight, this guy keeps improving at this age. This guy's on a 3-fight winning streak, albeit I think he lost to Alec Shakin in that fight. I think he lost that fight. They gave him the win. Another thing is I do think this guy has received a lot of favorable, not only decisions, but like given like breaks from referees, points taken off from referees. He is trained by the president of the PFL. And so whether that has something to do with it or not, man, this guy's got a lot of favorable decisions. He's got a lot of favorable stuff from referees as far as stoppages and stuff and points being deducted. So with that being said, Delano Taylor hits hard. He's very, very young, 25 years old, training in a very good gym in Killcliff over there in Florida. He's improving. He's got good power. But the one thing that he does that I don't like in this fight, that why I really like Sadabusi, is he's not a pressure fighter. He doesn't really pressure his opponents. He likes to stand there in boxing range and strike with a lot of his opponents. And you know what? That's what Sadabusi loves, because if you give him that range, he's going to kick you to death. He's got nasty body kicks. He's got good leg kicks. He's very, very long. His legs are very long. I mean, he's going to piece you apart from the outside. And if that's what you're going to give him, I think he's going to pick apart Delano Taylor from the outside. The guy is just a very, very good kickboxer, and he's very, very long. When you look at the fight against Carlos Leal, when was Sadabusi, least effective? It's when Carlos Leal was pressuring and getting in the pocket, pushing him at the cage, pressuring him. Even with all the pressuring, like Sadabusi was still doing well. He's faced all these guys that, that's all they're going to do to him is they're going to have to pressure him. They're going to close the space because they don't want to get hit with those kicks, man. And Delano Taylor just doesn't do that on tape over and over again. He just doesn't do it. He stands there. He wants to strike on the outside. He did that against most of these guys that he's fought. So with that being said, he's going to give Sadabusi space. I think Sadabusi is going to pick him apart, especially with the kicks. I played Sadabusi at -152 for 2 units. Maybe I should have went bigger, to be honest. It's -168 on FanDuel. I still like it. I think he should be a bigger favorite than that here. Yeah, Delano Taylor's improving and all that, but this is a terrible matchup for him. It really, really is. And so with that being said, give me Sadabusi here, man. I think this fight probably goes to decision. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Sadabusi stops this guy with like body kicks or something, because he does have nasty body kicks, and Taylor's just going to give him space to do all he wants. So give me Sadabusi here. I'm playing just the money line. I'm not playing any of the props. I think he's good even at this point. At 168, 170, probably I would go up to 200 and play him, to be honest. I just really like him in this spot. Very, very good matchup for him. Very, very bad matchup for Delano Taylor, in my opinion. So give me Sadabusi in this fight. Fight number 8. It's another championship fight. It's Stevie Ray versus Olivier Aubin Mercier. The odds right now on this fight are, wow, Aubin Mercier, best price, minus 350 on Bet Online. Best comeback on Stevie Ray is plus 300 Bet 365 or plus 295 on DraftKings. I don't have a bet on this fight as far as the money line is concerned. I do think this is a fight that it's OEM should cruise in this fight, honestly. He's the way better technical striker. He's got very, very good wrestling. He's got very, very good jiu-jitsu. He's looked really good of late. Stevie Ray's a tough guy. He comes forward. He tries to get the fight to the ground. He's going to have a hell of a time to try to get this fight to the ground against OEM. Maybe a catch kick or something. But, man, this is the only thing I like here, as far as this fight is these guys are both southpaws, I believe. Calf kicks are going to be there for Mercier. I don't know if he throws them that much. I can't remember from tape. I don't think he throws a lot of calf kicks. However, he does throw a lot of good body kicks. That's versus orthodox fighters. This is a southpaw. The body's not going to be really all that open there to hit. But it's just if this fight stays standing, which I think it should, unless Aubin Mercier wants its fight to get to the ground, and he very well could take it to the ground if he wants to, because I think he's the better wrestler here. He's more durable than Stevie Ray is. Stevie Ray is dangerous on the ground, don't get me wrong. Look at these submissions, the modified twisters that he hits. He's hit a modified twister against Anthony Pettis. He's hit modified twister in a grappling. The guy's good down there with his jiu-jitsu. It's just not going to work against Aubin Mercier. He's not going to be able to get him to the ground, first of all. And second of all, I just think this is a fight for Aubin Mercier to his fight to lose. So with that being said, Aubin Mercier, the one thing I looked at here is guy hits very, very hard, has a piston left hand, dropped Alex Martinez numerous times in that last fight. Guy hits very, very hard. Like I said, it doesn't show on his record as far as knockouts, but the guy hits very hard. Stevie Ray is there to be hit a lot. Stevie Ray has been knocked out by Leonardo Santos, Paul Felder. So he's been knocked out before. I think he get knocked out again. The KO prop on this, he's going to have 5 rounds too, albeit for Aubin Mercier. The KO prop here is plus 600. I think it's a little wild to get plus 600 here on KO for Aubin Mercier, who to me hits very, very hard, regardless of what his record shows. Like, he doesn't have a lot of knockouts. The dude hits hard. It's plus 600. Stevie Ray can get knocked out. Give me the plus 600 here. KO from Aubin Mercier. That's all I have on this fight. I don't have anything else. I don't like many of the other props. Like, how does Stevie Ray win here? Like, I don't see that. He's not going to win the striking. Maybe gets the fight to the ground a couple of times, steals rounds. I don't know. I don't see it, honestly. This Aubin Mercier should win this fight. I'm not going to lay. I don't like laying these minus 350s, minus 410s. But Mercier wins this fight. Fight number 9, Julia Budd versus Aspen Ladd. This is at 145, 3-round fight. Aspen Ladd got cut from the UFC for missing weight 5 times. 5 weight misses. How the hell do you miss weight 5 times? I don't get it. This girl is a head case. You look at her photos, she's hiking more than she's training. Now she gets to train less because she's at 45, not at 35 anymore. Honestly, she doesn't look that big for 45. Julia Budd actually looks very big for 45 because this girl has fought at 55 for a while. I mean, she's 5'8". She's a big, chiseled girl, like, a lot of muscle on her. Her last 4 or 3 fights have been at 55. No, 2 fights. Her last 2 fights have been at 55. I think they kind of played a part of her loss to Gina Fabian. I think it was 1-1 going into the third. She was having a hell of a time getting Gina Fabian down because she's a big chick. I mean, 6 foot, 156 pounds, very, very big girl. Hard to get her down. She wasted a lot of energy trying to get this chick down, and she wasn't successful. I mean, she got her down. She won a round. She got her down maybe 2 or 3 times, but in the third, she just couldn't do it, and she ultimately lost the fight because of that. Her striking, Julia Budd, not very good. I mean, it's okay. I went back and watched that Cyborg fight. She did pretty well at holding Cyborg on the fence in the clinch. I think she got Cyborg down one time. But also Cyborg got her down a couple of times herself. Honestly, when I watched both these girls, like Aspen Ladd, like I watched a Dumont fight. She got taken down by Dumont. The one time Dumont went for a takedown. However, Aspen Ladd did sweep her, did get her back on top. But in the striking, like she doesn't look good herself in the striking. She looks very bad in the striking. I think she's a lot. I mean, I would say Julia Budd is the stronger girl here. She's the bigger girl for sure. She looks way stronger to me when I look at tape. She might be able to get this fight to the ground herself, Julia Budd, and be on top. Whether she gets swept or not, I don't know. That's to be figured out. But this line right now sitting at, minus 230, minus 220 on Aspen Ladd, you have to be out of your mind to bet this girl at this price. Like, what has she done other than miss weight for you to play this price on her? Julia Budd was on bottom against Cyborg for a good amount of the fight. And she was getting clobbered on her feet even, and it took Cyborg 4 rounds. And we know Cyborg hits like a man, man. She hits very, very fucking hard, and she couldn't get her out of there easy. Aspen Ladd, I don't think can get her down very easy. First of all, I think Julia Budd might be able to get this fight to the ground. On the feet, Julia Budd, even though her striking is not very good, she's just much bigger, much longer. You're talking about 70-inch reach at 5'8" compared to 66-inch reach at 5'6". A natural 45 or maybe even 55er in Julia Budd against a girl that's supposed to be at 35. Honestly, it's Julia Budd or pass here. Like, I'm gonna wait. Maybe people keep betting. This line went up, so maybe people keep betting Aspen Ladd, and then I'll happily bet Julia Budd. Let me see what Julia Budd, that by decision's 275. I don't know if she can finish Ladd. She's not like Julia Budd is not much of a finisher, but the problem is like Aspen Ladd's such a head case. You never know, So I'm probably not going to mess with that. I'm probably just going to play Julia Budd at some point. You got to be out of your mind to be playing Aspen Ladd. I'll be honest with you. That's pretty crazy. Aspen Ladd fought at 45 against Dumont. And we saw what happened. Julia Budd got a cruiserweight decision. Every time Aspen fought women who were in great shape, more muscle, she fell short. So, yeah, I mean, she's fighting a girl that fought at 55 too. Julia Budd is a big chick, man. She is a big woman. And when she gets that body lock, like, I think she's going to take Aspen Ladd down, honestly. Brent says on DKC, parlayed with Wilkinson, fight doesn't go to decision, gets you to plus 100. Not bad. I don't want to bet. Don't parlay C because you're not really getting much value because you're going from minus 168 to plus 100 to parlay. I wouldn't do that. Just play the money line. Don't mess around with that. She just checked in on PFL channel today. Aspen looks like she added more fat instead of muscle. Gina Fabian was 6 foot tall and came overweight. Yeah, I know. Gina Fabian's a big woman, dude. She had a hell of a time trying to get her down. No, she didn't come overweight. Gina Fabian came in at 154.4. But that's not the point. She's a big lady, 6 foot, a longer girl. We know how it is. It's hard to get the taller girls down, and she still got her down. It's just that she got tired trying to get her down because she was so damn big. So, yeah. The fact that Julius Buzzbone is disrespectful, this is where we bet the dog. Yeah, I think so too. You should bet the dog here. Slowing down against Aspen. I see her cruising. I don't know about cruising, but I think she has a very good chance to win this fight. And you're getting plus 190. But wait, But wait, I think you might get a better line. Who knows? Because Aspen Ladd's more of the known name. People might still bet her. She's in that parlayable range, that minus 120, 225, 220 range. So I think she is going to be the girl that gets parlayed here. So just wait on this line. I think you will get a better line maybe on Julia Budd. Maybe hits 200, and then I'll be in. Moving on, fight number 10, Ante Delija versus Mateusz Scheffel, and this is for the heavyweight championship, 5 rounds for the $1 million, for all the marbles. And this is a fight where these guys have, it's a rerun. These guys fought literally 7 months ago, right? And 7 months ago, Ante Delija absolutely wiped the ground with Scheffel. Destroyed him, right? Took him down, knocked him out in the second round. Complete domination in that fight. Literally dominated him, right? On the feet, on the ground. Rerun is 8 months later or 7 months later, right? And they're giving us minus, what is it now? Oh, shit, it went up. Wow, it's getting steamed, guys. So I got in at minus 230 for 3 units. And currently, we're sitting at minus 260 on FanDuel. Probably still value, in my opinion, at 260, believe it or not. Even though I don't like playing these prices, but I still think it's value. But if you want to go a different route and you want to, you don't want to pay that 260, you go down and you go to DraftKings and you go to inside the distance for Delija. It's minus 125. Don't take the KO prop because it's plus 110. It's literally 35 cents difference, and you never know. You never know if this guy gives up his back while he's grounding and pounding him. And, Delija goes for a submission because Delija does have a north-south choke in his record. I think he had a couple other submissions early on, but he's probably going to get him by knockout. But the thing is, you don't want to take a chance for 35 cents. Scheffel, decent striker, but he's going to be at a severe disadvantage here as far as the grappling is concerned, right? The other thing is he's 6'2", Delija's 6'5". We saw him teeing him up in the first fight on the feet. Delija landed big punches. Delija has a ton of power on the feet as well. Super dangerous guy. And when he gets in position on the ground, his ground and pound is very, very nasty, man. And what did we learn from Scheffel? I mean, he beat Juan Adams. After Juan Adams probably won 1 round off him. It was probably 1-1, maybe 2-0 Scheffel, but he was getting him down. But honestly, 3 minutes into the fight, Adams was toast. He's dead tired, completely gassed 3 minutes into that fight. His wrestling is so slow and fucking plotty. He still got him down, which is crazy. Ante Delija actually has good. He shoots very nicely into double legs, gets you down. He looks very strong on top. He'll keep you down and pound you when he's on top. I like what I see from Delija. He's very, very tough, regardless of, him getting knocked out by Capoloza that one time. This guy is super tough, man. He takes a lot of punishment, especially in the second Capoloza fight. He absolutely ran through Renan Ferreira, who looked pretty good prior to that, outside of the Abreu fight where he got grappled again. But before that, I mean, the guy looked really good. But man, Delija, Scheffel to me is not very good, man. I don't care about the Capoloza win. Capoloza looked off in that fight. The other thing is Capoloza is not much of a grappler. He's just a striker. We look at this guy. He's having trouble against grapplers, right? Ante Delija knocked him out on the feet, albeit, but Mirzakhanov knocked him out. John Allen earlier. I mean, this guy's been knocked out a shit ton of times, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 out of his 8 losses have been by KO. This guy's getting knocked out in this fight. If he doesn't spark Delija very, very early, this guy's going to get taken down or maybe even get knocked out on the feet. But if he gets taken down and Delita gets in good position, he's gonna destroy this guy on the ground. And for me, I basically have Delita inside the distance minus 125. I have Delita money line at minus 230, even minus 260 is fine. Honestly, I think this is all day Delita in this fight. I think this line is short, to be honest. And Scheffel is another guy that, is primarily just a striker, and he's not all that, honestly. He's got decent boxing, but he's going to get killed here, in my opinion, against Delita. It's going to be a rerun of their first fight. Moving on, co-main event, Brandon Loughnane versus Bubba Jenkins for the 145-pound championship at featherweight and the $1 million. Another one where you want to talk about how much tape I did? I went back to a lot of these guys' fights. I'm talking about Tyler Diamond, Shaman Moraes, the Algeo fight at Contender Series for Loughnane, and just watched every one of these fights, Kabulaev, Kudo, Husek, all of them, right? What I wanted to see is, like, first of all, his defensive wrestling, like how good is he against his takedown defense, right? Takedown defense looked very good in almost all these fights outside of Kabulaev. Kabulaev took him down, controlled him for a lot. But Loughnane came back in the third round, hurt Kabulaev a little bit, busted him up. But split decision is absolutely nuts in that fight. I can't believe when I rewatched that tape, round 1, round 2, complete domination from Kabulaev, and somehow it's split decision. What crazy judge gave round 1 or 2 for freaking Loughnane? Impossible. So it's funny to see that. But Kabulaev dominated that fight with the grappling. Tyler Diamond, good wrestler, could not get that fight to the ground. Went to majority decision, which is another head scratcher. I don't know how Tyler Diamond, got there with majority decision for Loughnane. I think Loughnane clearly won that fight. Either way, those were 2 head scratchers, both decisions. But outside of that, the Kudo fight, he didn't look very good. I don't know what was wrong. He was either hurt or something was wrong with his knee or something. But Huskick fight, okay, he looked fairly good, but he looked really good against Chris Wade. Piecing up Chris Wade on the feet, defending takedowns really well. Just did really well in that fight overall. Looked impressive. Guy has very good cardio. I'll give him that. He'll be there at the end. Very, very good cardio on this guy. And very good leg kicks, calf kicks. He hits really hard with those calf kicks. Very nice boxing. Even used some of his wrestling in some of these fights, which is pretty impressive. I think he took Chris Wade down late in that fight. On the other side, Bubba Jenkins, right? I wanted to really dig deep here too. So I went deep in this guy's fight career and looked at his improvements. And I see a lot of improvement in his hands, man. His boxing is a lot better. He's improving. His wrestling is really, really good. Very, very high level wrestler here in Jenkins. And we see the one loss that this guy has recently was against Chris Wade. And what happened there is he was getting out grappled by Chris Wade, in that fight. And people are saying, like, okay, well, Chris Wade couldn't take down Loughnane. And now, when they faced each other, Chris Wade and Jenkins, Wade was getting the better of the grappling. So that should mean that Jenkins can take down Loughnane. But it's not like that, man, because Chris Wade as a wrestler himself is not that great, like a guy that's going to come forward and wrestle and try to take you down. But as far as you trying to take down Chris Wade, it's extremely hard. He's a good scrambler. He's very good when it comes to, stuffing takedowns, stuff like that. And on the other hand, Brandon Loughnane, right? He's pretty good at stuffing takedowns. But I don't think he's that good of a scrambler like Chris Wade is, right? Is Bubba Jenkins going to be able to take Loughnane down? You better believe it, man. When I watch tape, he's going to take him down. The shots that he shoots, and he, the thing with Jenkins is he's probably not going to initially just shoot right away. He's going to be throwing some hands. He throws decent hands. He comes out of the southpaw position. He's going to eventually shoot. And when he shoots, I think he's going to take him down, man. He's got very, very good takedowns on tape. I really like his takedowns. His striking has improved a lot, Where do I see advantages for Loughnane here is cardio. He's got better striking, but grappling, there's no way I could say he's going to be able to stuff takedowns here. He's going to get taken down. It's a matter of who lasts at the end here. Who's going to have the better cardio? And to me, I think it's going to be Loughnane at the end. I think Lougnane's going to have the better round 4, round 5. But here's the thing. I bet Bubba Jenkins at plus 155 for one reason only. Bubba Jenkins, I can almost assure you, is going to win the first round or maybe even first 2 rounds, right? So if that's how I feel, I'm going to play 155 now and then live bet Loughnane. If I see that Bubba Jenkins is getting tired, I'll get a nice plus money price and I'll just free roll this whole fight. Because I think Bubba Jenkins is going to win the early round. So if you're getting plus money right now and you're going to live bet on this fight, it's a very good thing to do. Go to BetMGM, bet 155 on Bubba Jenkins, wait for a live bet spot, and you're going to get a better price on Loughnane here if you see that Bubba Jenkins is slowing down. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to completely slow down here. Guy has shown decent cardio. Bochniak fight, he was slowing down towards the end of that fight. He still eventually landed a takedown. He still was throwing hands at the end. He was not that tired. Bobby Moffitt fight again. He out-grappled Bobby Moffitt, who's a good wrestler himself. Dominated him, and then Moffitt did decent, I guess, towards the end. Last fight, you can't really take much. I mean, took kudos back standing, got a rear naked choke. So the way I played this fight is Bubba Jenkins early, plus 155. Play him right now. You can get a live spot, I'm pretty sure, on Loughnane. And then what you do is you go to DraftKings, you play Loughnane round 3, round 4, plus 900. Loughnane round 5, plus 2,500. And that's how you play this fight. Because I think it's early. It's definitely, in my opinion, going to be Jenkins. Late, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Loughnane. So I don't really have a very, very confident side, but right now at plus 155, I'm going to go with the grappler in Bubba Jenkins. I think he's going to be able to get his takedowns early. It's just a question of, is he going to be able to get them down? Is he able to implement his wrestling late? If he can't implement his wrestling late and it's standing, he's going to eat a lot of calf kicks. He's going to eat a lot of punches. He's probably going to be slowing down. So I like those late round props on Loughnane a good bit here. Yep. 33 of you in here. Thank you very much. Lou Betcha. What's up, my man? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody in chat. Prince of Mischief. Will there be a Twitter live space? Maybe. I might do one. Yeah. If there's live betting, I might just do one by myself and schedule it for, there's nothing else. So yeah, why not? I might be doing a live. What's with the line flipping on Bubba Jenkins? What do you mean, Headley? What do you mean by flipping? Did it flip? Let me see. Why do you say flipping? I don't. From the initial open. Yeah, it opened at minus 150. That was October 13th. That was a month and some ago. It moved right away, though. It wasn't really flipping. It opened minus 150. It moved right away to plus 120, and then since then, it's really been 120 and then recently up to 153 and back down to 145. So it hasn't really flipped. I like Jenkins here, honestly. I think he gets takedowns early. And like I said, if you want to get out of the spot, you can easily live bet Loughnane if you think Jenkins is slowing down. But I'm going to go with the grappling of Jenkins here. I think it's going to work. Maybe it's Going to slow down later, but I have those late round props on Loughnane, and that should help me. Moving on to the main event. It is in the 155-pound women's division. It is Kayla Harrison versus Larissa Pacheco. The fight we've all been waiting for, right? Fight number 3. These girls have fought twice. One was a 5-round fight. One was a 3-round fight. And Kayla Harrison basically dominated both fights. I want to say basically dominated because in the first fight, Pacheco had her back with a body triangle locked in. She's trying to get a choke. She landed some nice strikes on the feet. Eventually, Kayla Harrison reversed the position when she had her back and got up on top, finished with some ground and pound, stuff like that. But we have an 8-round sample of these two chicks, right? Kayla Harrison in those fights was able to get takedowns. I don't want to say at will, but she was able to get takedowns. In the second Pacheco fight, she got some takedowns. In the 5th round in that fight, Pacheco was stuffing takedowns, landing some nice shots. She even, I don't know if it was in the 5th or 4th round, she had a really good front guillotine on Kayla Harrison. But when you look at Pacheco, the thing with me is when I look at her fights, and the last fight against Harrison, remember, is almost 3 years ago, right? The first one was also almost 3 years ago. But the difference between that Pacheco there and the Pacheco now is, to me, she's added a lot of muscle to her body. She looks much stronger now. The other thing is, like, you know what's coming. Obviously, every fighter knows what's coming from Kayla Harrison, right? But Pacheco now, after fighting her twice, 8 rounds, and now fighting her for a 3rd time, having 5 more fights after that where she just basically ran through every single one of those fighters. Dude, this chick is super dangerous, man, on the feet. She hits as hard as any chick there is, including Chris Cyborg. This girl hits very, very hard. Her grappling is, her takedown defense, not the best, but she's got very, very good BJJ. She threatened with like arm bars and shit like that against Harrison in the first fight. Like, she's going to be the chick that's improving here, right? She's only 28 years old, right? Harrison, at this point in her career, Harrison even said, I believe this is her last PFL fight. She's 32 years old. I understand the grappling. I understand the wrestling and stuff, but I can't. These girls have fought 8 rounds, okay? She couldn't finish Pacheco. She had a lot of top time, a lot of full mounts, a lot of everything, okay? And she could not finish her. How could you play a minus 600, minus 700 at this point and not play Pacheco, who had her back in one of the fights early on, who, had another good guillotine in that 5th round against her in their last fight and was touching her up and winning that 1st round in the last fight? Like, I'm going to play Pacheco here. I'm telling you guys right now, like, I played her at plus 475. I had played her at plus 460. But then I saw plus 475 on MGM, so I cashed out. I played plus 475. Line has come down a little bit in some spots. It's 425. Oh, never mind. It's 500 all of a sudden now on Bet Online. So I guess what? I'm going to go hit her on Bet Online now too, and maybe cash out my MGM, because if they're going to keep, I don't understand why people keep playing Kayla Harrison at this price. It's crazy to me. It makes no sense. We got an 8-round sample. I know she can get takedowns, but 700? She hasn't finished her in 8 rounds. She's the older fighter. The other girl's clearly improving. The other girl, to me, has more knockout power on the feet. I don't know, man. That's pretty wild to me. I'm gonna play plus 500 now and cash out my 475. And I mean that's I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Someone's asking, what are you saying here? Let's see. It's weird to me that Kayla over under is 2.5 rounds is around even money. If Kayla goes all out for a 1st round finish, she could gas later. Safest path with $1 million on the line is the same as her last 2 fights. Yeah, I don't think she goes all out. She's not going to go all out because she knows this girl's super, super dangerous. She's dangerous everywhere, on the ground, on the feet. She's a BJJ black belt. She's not going to go crazy in the first round trying to get Pacheco. Pacheco is super durable, super tough girl. She's not going to just run her over and run through her. I'd be very, very surprised if that happened at this point in her career. So, yeah, I don't think – I think over 2.5 – where do you see 2.5, by the way? I only see 3.5. Let me check DraftKings because they have alternate lines. DraftKings has the 2.5 at – what the hell? DraftKings messed up because they have the total rounds at 1.5, and then alternate line, they also have 1.5. They skipped the 2.5 line there. I don't know why. Very weird. So they don't have a 2.5 line, but eventually they probably will. I think this fight probably goes over the 2.5 mark, even over the 3.5 mark, honestly. But unless I think more of you might laugh at me. I think more equity in the finishing ability of Pacheco than Harrison. I don't think Harrison's going to stop her on the ground. Pacheco knows how to get out of those positions. She's gotten out of full mount 2 or 3 times in their last, 2 fights. She knows how to get out of them, and she's only getting stronger and better. So, to me, I'm leaning Pacheco here. I'm going to play her at plus 500 now and cash out my 475. Esso says, Larissa Pacheco aura is different in this third fight. Do I see her winning? I don't know, but I see it being more competitive this time. It looks like she's been roiding to her jawline. She's definitely been on something. She looks different. Mushroom, Pacheco, ITD. Yeah, Pacheco KO, I think. Maybe plus 900. Why not? Just take her money line, honestly. It's 500. What else do you want? Narco, great show as usual. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't have, honestly, Mushroom, I don't have prop parlays here. I don't want to give you prop parlays here because I don't really have many. So I didn't really look into them that deep. Only the ones that I liked. I gave you some props that I like. So just put together something that you like, with the props that I gave you. But yeah, boys, I think that's it. We went through all 12 fights. Should be a great card. It is on Friday. So I'll have us something to watch there on Friday. I don't know what else is going to be on, but definitely going to be watching this PFL. Maybe I'll have a Twitter Spaces for it so you guys can come and we can do some live bets. But I just want to thank every one of you in here. Have a very, very, very good Thanksgiving with your family. Enjoy the day. Drink responsibly. Eat responsibly. And I will see you guys on Twitter Spaces on Friday. And hopefully you guys and me will cash some tickets. Take care, everybody. And again, happy Thanksgiving.